All right, so again, thank you all for attending my class on how to make your design stand out. We previously just gone over a little bit of some customization for Thanksgiving posts, but we'll certainly circle back. What I want to start out with before we take a little bit of a deeper dive into some of the templates are some areas that you may not be fully aware of. And that's going to be the My Designs area and the Assets area. Now, the Assets area is great because this is where you can add things like images, logos, different fonts and font colors to your palettes and into your Assets folder. So they're going to automatically populate every time you're making a new design. This is really, really helpful, especially when you're dealing with logos. If I come down to this logos section, we see that the primary logo and the secondary logo are what were automatically populated for us when our command account was created. Now we can also see a difference between these two images here. The primary logo has this white box around it, while the secondary logo is transparent. I strongly recommend getting into the habit of only utilizing logos that have a transparent background, especially if you're going to be putting this logo on top of other designs or images that have colors. You don't want that white box around it. So this will allow you to have that logo just placed nicely on top of your image. Now, sometimes if you have a black background or a red background or a white background, these logos won't show up as nicely as we'd like. But we can download additional logos from the KW Connect website and upload them into this folder here. By doing this, you're going to visit the logos and branding page on KW Connect. And I'm going to pop this in the chat for you guys as well. And what we can do here is scroll down until we see this area here. And then you can put in your market center name or number. The Rutherford office is 1095. I'm going to click on preview and I can preview that little image there. But once I click on download, it's going to download a zip file with a lot of different logos, including an all white logo, an all black logo, an all gray logo, and a few different color variations as well.
Hi, how are you?
Once you have this downloaded, move it out of the zip file and put it on your desktop, and then it will be easier for you to add them into your command. So once you have them saved somewhere on your desktop or somewhere on your computer outside of that zip file, we're going to go back to logos and brand assets, and we can come to this upload here, and we can actually select choosing from a device. And I'm not sure if you guys can see this, so I apologize if you don't, but it's just the typical window to pick your file. So I'm going to go in to my logos. And you always want to select a logo that is a PNG file. This means that the logo is going to be with a transparent background. So we can see here, this is the logo that I've just added. And because we can see all of those gray and white checkered spots on the back, that means that it is transparent. So you can come in here and add different logos. That way you always have them readily available. This function can also be used in the images section if you want to add additional images. So once you upload a profile image into your bio, into your marketing profile in Command, that photo will populate here. But maybe you want a secondary image, or you want to add other images of photos that you always like to use, or whatever the case may be. Again, we can click on that upload. And then simply click on upload file. And now I have a secondary headshot here under my images. You can also do this with different texts. So if you wanted to make sure that your certain points of contact and your contact information is correct, you can come in here. And under colors and fonts, this is where you can add colors into your main palette. So if you did want to add in that KW red color, the color code is going to be in the RGB format 180-1-1. I'm going to put this in the chat as well. There we go. So now you guys all have that Keller Williams red color that you can use at any point in time. Additionally to the assets section, we also have the My Designs folder or section. And this is where we can organize all of the different templates that we have. You can upload your own design, and you can also start from a blank slate. So if you wanted to make your own design from scratch, you can do that. And you can pick sizes based on standard sizes for anything from printed materials to social posts, or you can put in a custom size as well. Now, when you're dealing with all of your different saved templates and saved images, we can also create folders. So this will help to keep everything a little more organized. So I had already started a holiday folder, and I can simply begin to drag and drop and place all of my holiday posts in one folder. This is key if you are, very heavy on listings, or if you have a lot of different materials that run across the same themes. So for example, you can have different folders created for each house that you put on the market, or for each client that you're working with. Anything that you want to do to help keep all these materials a little bit more organized. So that way, if you wanted to go into your designs and go in to edit something, you can click into that folder, and then it'll be a lot easier to find exactly what you're looking for. Absolutely, you can certainly post these to your social media, and I'll show you where those templates are in just a second. Now, you don't have to group these together in folders. It's just a suggestion I have for you. But remember how I said that we always want to rename that image file before we exit? That's because we don't want to have things called graphical 01 or on the move 01_IG. We don't know what this means. We don't know when this was created. We don't know what the content is. So you can come in and rename things. So this perhaps, I can rename this as the, I forget what, it's just a blank template, but this could be the Rutherford Market Update October 2021. This way I have that file named correctly, and I always know what the content is going to be before I actually go into the template and view the content that we have created in it. Now, if we come back to our templates section, this is where we can see a lot of different templates. So what we went over a little bit before was where we can find the different holiday posts. And the WeBrand site has actually made a great update where they have a separate category for holidays, and they are separated into different subfolders per month. So if we click into November, we're able to see all of the posts for holidays in November. And this is great because they're up to date. Hanukkah starts very early this year, so they've included Hanukkah in the November section. We have Diwali, Thanksgiving, Veterans Day, Daylight Savings, etc. For the holidays coming up, in addition to Hanukkah, we have Kwanzaa, we have Christmas, the winter solstice, beautiful holiday KW themed elements as well. Now, if you do want to post anything on social media, if you're posting it to your feed, which is simply your Instagram profile or your Facebook profile, I definitely recommend using the social square shape. This is that perfectly square shape that's going to show up best when you're scrolling through the news feeds. And by narrowing down the templates based on size, we're able to cut out all the duplicates and see all of the different templates we have available. So if I want to get ready to post for winter time, I can come over here and pick any of these templates. I kind of like this one here, so I'm going to click on use. And we'll do a little customization. So the first thing we always want to do, and truly the one thing we want to make sure that we do before we post this onto our social media feeds, is to change the logo. So if I click on the generic logo, and you can always tell it's a generic logo if it says DBA name, When we click on this, the logos section automatically pops up and we're able to see everything from my assets folder. So here we can see all of the different colors that we have, and I'm going to replace the existing logo with this one here. So I'm going to click on that circle, and there we go. I can move the logo wherever I want. It's completely up to you. What's really cool about these as well is that all of these different designs you can tweak as well. So if you wanted to do things like make them bigger, you can do that. If you wanted to, duplicate. So I'm going to click on copy, and then I'm going to paste that in. So if I wanted to add any additional designs or features to this to make it stand out a little bit, I can do that. So you see how easy it is? I'm just copying and pasting and moving everything around. I'm going to copy this and paste that. I can utilize this arrow to rotate, and then I can select exactly where I want that image to lay. I'll bump that out a bit like that. Now, great question. If you wanted to add your picture to any of the templates, you can do that. I'm going to show you how to just generally add it in. This would be going over to images, and under the My Assets, we'll be able to see everything that you have uploaded or what's being pulled directly from your marketing profile. So if I wanted to add my agent photo, I can click on this Use Image button. It's going to show up a little bit big, but I can always resize it, move it around. So by clicking on this image and holding, dragging down, and moving the corners, I can change the size. So if I wanted to add my picture here, I can do that as well. Now again, we want to rename this file. So this would be Winter Solstice 2021. So just one idea of how you can, take an existing template and create something more if you want to. But if you want to just simply leave it as is, come in here. You'll notice that when I delete some images, I have to double delete. That's fine. But there we go. Now this is just how the template is. Now, when we're working on other things that will automatically have a placeholder for your picture, it'll be a little bit easier to input it in because it'll automatically be filtered into the correct size. So let's go back to our templates. I'm going to show you guys a few other areas to look at, and then we're going to work on a flyer together, and I can show you really what you can do to customize everything. Some areas that I'd love you guys to take a look at on your own are going to be, for example, the business basics. And here we can see things like creating email signatures, which you can then add into your email account, and you'll have a really nice, neat email signature going out on all your emails. There's also a social branding. So if you have a Facebook page or even a Twitter account, a LinkedIn account, anything like that, you can use these covers for that header image on your page. And there are business cards available as well. Now, we all use the Prism Digital company for the business cards, but if you're ever in a pinch and you just wanted to have a file, a picture of one, you can use this and then send it along if you need to. Now, under lead generation, this is where we can find a lot of great templates as well. There's client testimonials. So these are really great. You can, again, swap out these background images. Of course, you can change the text, make it look however you want. But this is a great way for you to share any testimonials that you've received. There's also different sections to help you show your expertise. So we have expert advice and home value and different sections like this. And these are things that you can use and post and hopefully get your followers to reach out to you so you can share your expertise with them, whether it's selling their home, buying a home, renting a property, whatever the case may be. We also have images that are going to promote your KW app. So I'm not sure if you all know, but every agent has their own custom link for their Keller Williams app that can be found in the consumer section of your command dashboard. And that link, because it's unique to you, will have the ability or grant the ability for whomever you send that link to download the app onto their phone and then automatically have you added on as their agent. So this way, while they're searching for properties and they find homes that they'd like to visit, they can be connected with you and send that information to you directly. So these KW app and even the KW website templates are great to promote this. Now, even though this says my website, we can always come in here and change this to reflect your app. So let's use this one as an example. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a real app link that I can use. I'm not a licensed agent myself, so I don't actually have a branded link. So I'm just going to make something up. But what we could do is come in here and simply edit this text. So again, we're going to click on that typewriter button. And this would be where the KW app goes. So I don't know the URL off the top of my head. We're just going to pretend it's kwapp.com/ and then whatever the code is. It's a combination of different letters and numbers. That should be a dot. Again, not a real URL, just using that for an example. But now we can see that we've simply replaced the website with our app link. Now, what's also really cool about this is that you can find in the elements section, we can see a lot of different things here from where we can source pictures from. But if we go to, oh, where is it? There we go. It's actually under images, my apologies. If we go under images, we are able to see a lot of images that are given to us that we can use at our disposal. So for example, here we have app images. So we're now able to see all of these different app images that we could use if we wanted to. So maybe I want to take this phone and I added it in. I can twist it around. And we can write something along the lines of download my app today. You can have a picture of the phone there. This template may not be the best for this example, but just so you guys get the idea that you can play around and find different things that you can utilize and make your own. And of course, we always want to rename this here as well. Now, I'm going to show you guys how we can really use our creativity and take some of these, quote unquote generic flyers or postcards or anything like that, and how we can really make them our own. So I'm going to go under the listings section here, and I'm going to click on a just listed. Now we're going to get a ton of different templates, and you can see from this upper menu bar here, it looks like a lot of options, but that's simply because we have all of the sizes that we're seeing at once. So maybe I'm truly making a flyer that I'm going to print out and mail out to my past clients or whatever the case may be. I'm going to click on flyers. This will then narrow down how many templates we have showing up. So I have a better view of all of my different options. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on this one here. And I do apologize, I'm getting a little bit of a sore throat, so I do apologize if my voice is a little cracky. Now we have our template that we can customize and make our own. Now, as Susan asked, you can absolutely add in your profile picture, and it's a lot easier when they already have the placeholder for you. I can zoom in a little bit so we get a better view. Now what I can do is click on the picture that I want to replace, and I'm going to go over to the images section, and we're going to find my assets folder. And here's where I'm going to now be able to click that replace image option. So that way my picture fits in in the exact size that the template is specified for. So it's a little bit of an easier way to add your picture. Of course, at any point in time, you can add your picture in anywhere to any template and resize it and put it wherever you need to, and then delete it if you don't want it. We're going to keep going. I'm going to replace my logo here. Replace. I'm going to move it up a little bit since it's a little big. Now, the great thing about promoting different properties through command is that so long as this property is on an MLS, you'll be able to pull that information directly from KWLS, and that's going to make it so much easier to customize this content. So I'm going to click on the KWLS option. This is available whether you're in a template designed to promote a property or not. So even if you have a blank slate and you want to just pull some facts about, a property that you have on the market, you can certainly do that. Once I click on KWLS, we're going to see that we can have the ability to search either for listings or by snapshots. And we'll come back to snapshots. We're going to focus on listings right now. When I'm searching for a listing, you see that I can search by a number of different areas here, whether it's the listing address, the MLS number, KWLS ID, listing agent, etc. So I'm actually going to try to search by listing agent and see if I can find someone from my office here. Gotta love when things don't work when you want them to. That's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm quickly going to just go to kw.com so I can pull an actual address. Let's see if we actually have any KW ones here. Not that it matters. I just always love to use properties. Here we go. So here's one from the Ridgewood office. So this is 60 Columbia Street in Woodridge. So I'm going to take this. And I'm going to come back into my design editor. Once I type in 60 Columbia Street, we see that this listing now comes up. We see the MLS ID here. And I'm going to click on select. Now, once I select the listing, I actually have the ability to access all of the photos from the listing as well as all of the details. So it makes it a lot easier for you to replace the placeholder images on your template. I can click on this image, and then I can scroll through all the pictures here and pick the one that I want to use, kind of like this bar image. So I click on that replace icon, and here we go. Just because these other images are a little dark, but that's okay, just for an example here. We're publishing the party house. So you see how easy that was. Maybe I don't want to use this. Maybe I'd rather highlight the pool table. Again, this wasn't the most ideal listing to choose, but that's quite all right just for this example. Or maybe we just want to have the view from the property. But you see how easy that is to simply click on the image and you can replace as many different times as you want. Now, not only do we have access to all of the photos, but we also have access to all of the listing details. And this is great because it allows us to plug in all of this customization without having to jump from one website to another. If I come over here, we see that I have all of the different information for the home, which is all going to be listed here as well. Now, again, the easiest way to do this is to use this typewriter button. So I'm going to click on typewriter. I'm going to change the house number. I'm going to come in here and change the address. And now I can actually come in and find all of this information directly from the listing information here. So I can come in, click on that edit button. So this is actually a 4-bedroom, a 3.5 bath. I don't see the square footage here, but that's okay. I can always delete this if I wanted to. And same thing with the year built. If I wanted to delete it, I can. If I want to put in other information, New York City views, for example, parking, parking space. I'm pulling some information from the listing details here. I'm now going to click on save, and we see that all of this added in for us. Now we see that the New York City views is on a different line. I'm going to bring this over and then stretch the box out a little further. There we go. Now it's still overlapping. So what I want to do is maybe just make the font a little bit smaller. So see how easy it is where we can adjust the font size and the text to fit the existing spaces. If I had wanted to, I could have gone ahead and just made this box bigger. It's completely up to you. So now I can come here, and if I wanted to, bump this back up a little bit, I can do that. Same thing with all this information. Drag this over. Maybe I want this to be a little bit bigger as well. There we go. Now, when it comes to the description of the property, this is great because we have the property description right here. So I can click on this text box, click on replace. He is. Oh, sorry guys, Giants fans over here, and Jason Garrett was just released as the offensive coordinator, which is a big deal. So apologies for that little blip.
Sorry, I had to.
No, thank you. I thought you said Karen, and I was like, who's Karen?
No, I said Garrett.
So now we have that whole property description lumped into our box here. It is a lot of wording. What's nice about this template is it has a lot of blank space on the bottom here. So if I wanted to, I could stretch this out and make it fit. Or if I wanted to come in here, click on that typewriter and edit anything out, I can do that. Finally, it comes to just simply plugging in the information for yourself. So again, we'd be using that typewriter function to just plug in all the information, and you keep going until everything is filled out. Do we have any questions so far about anything that we've gone over? You can type it in the chat. You can unmute yourself, or if not, if that's a-okay with me. All right. So now I'd like to show you a couple other things that you can do here. Obviously, the beautiful red color is the Keller Williams brand color, but if you are doing your own thing and you want to have your own color, by all means, this is going to be for you. So if you wanted to spice it up a little bit and make this stand out, you can do that. I'm going to click on this red box here. And notice how when I did that, we have the options to change the opacity and the fill color. So I can come in here and choose any other color that I want. Maybe I want to use this forest green color. I can continue to come in and click on anything that's red and then click on that green color. Bless you.
Thanks.
Whoops, not that one. I'm going to click undo. Thought I could change the border. There we go. So now I've clicked on that border, and we see that we have the stroke color and the fill color. So I'm going to change both of these to green. Nope, just kidding. I'm going to undo that last part. There we go. And I'll change this text too. Boom. So again, just an example. And if you wanted to make this a little bit different, if you want to make it stand out, you can absolutely do so. We can also add in different things here. So we can add in different shapes and drawings. So if we wanted to add frames around things, we can certainly do that and plug images in. So, hypothetically, if we wanted to have a picture in here, I know that this doesn't exactly go with the template we're using, but I can always come in here, go to images, or into the KWLS, to the photos, and drag and drop into that frame. So if you wanted to make a post highlighting all the great things about this home, you can add different photos into these nice frames and create a really nice design. Additionally, we can always add more text. You can always change the size and the font to make everything look exactly how you want it to look. We can rearrange everything. Ta-da. And then, of course, if you ever wanted to put any extra elements on or anything like that, you can do that. I wouldn't recommend going too crazy. You still want this to look very professional while still showing your personality. And of course, we want to change this as well. So this is going to be 60 Columbia Street just listed flyer. Boom. There we go. Now I want to show you guys just one more thing before we sign off. And this is going to be something that's a little similar, but there are options here to promote yourself as a local expert. Now, all of this information, you have to go and find it on your own. I'll be honest, I don't know exactly where all of these stats are pulled, whether it's the MLS or different things like that, but you do have the ability to completely edit all of this content and make it, stand out. But we also have the option to produce neighborhood snaps. So this is essentially just a snippet of information for a particular area. So, for example, I live in the town of Hawthorne. I'm a realtor and I want to be Hawthorne's, best known realtor. Hawthorne is my expertise. I'm going to narrow down to that square size. And I'm going to click on this design right here. Now, what I can do is create a really nice graphic in a very short amount of time that promotes my knowledge on my desired area. Barton Hills is always the default. It's got to be somewhere in Texas. I don't really know exactly where it is. But I can click on the typewriter button. And instead of Barton Hills, I can put Hawthorne and click on save. Now, we see that this image here includes information for Barton Hills. And I want to keep this. Where do I get it? This is also going to be found under the KWLS. And instead of going over to the listings section, we can come over to snapshots. And we can find this information based on either a neighborhood or a zip code. So if you're familiar with the neighborhood nurture smart plans that we have, we know that neighborhoods are different sections of towns. So perhaps you are an expertise in a particular section of town. But if you really want to promote your expertise for a whole town, you can also search by zip code. Go ahead and put Hawthorne zip code in and hit enter. It's going to get all of this data for me to create a graphic just like this in a variety of different sizes. So I can simply click on what I want to replace. And again, click on that replace image. And here we go. It's got Hawthorne's zip code here, average listing price, average sold price, and some stats as well. Now, just beware, this may not be the most recent up-to-date data. And if you ever wanted to, change anything here, you can do a little bit of a workaround. I'm going to zoom in here. And I'm going to draw a rectangle. And I'm going to place it over that number. I'm now going to click on that rectangle, and I'm going to make it all white. So both the fill and the stroke color, so there's no border. And ta-da, that number's disappeared. I can now come in here and add maybe a body text, for example. I'm going to move it over here. Maybe instead of 50 active on the market, maybe at this point there's only 40. So I can then come in here, take this number and add it here and just make it a little smaller. And there we go. You can continue that process if you want all the numbers to be the same font and size, but it's a really easy way for you to go in and fix this information to make sure it's accurate and correct. And you want to be sharing the best information possible with your clients and your followers. Then we could take this image here, and maybe I can post a picture of myself in front of a sold house. You can do the town name if there's a nice welcome to XYZ town. You can use a generic image, or you can leave it as is. It's up to you. But maybe I really like how this is laid out and I prefer to have this very long border here. I can then come in here and I'm going to replace everything that I've added in. And I'm going to click on this plus button. I'm going to match it up here. I'm going to just make it a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to go and delete the picture in the back. Look how easy that was. I can now come in here and I can move things around if I want to. I can add my contact information here. So I want to change this logo. So Susan, like your question before, adding your picture, we'll just go to images, assets. Here's my agent photo. I'm going to make it smaller. And then we can say, contact me for all of your Hawthorne buy and sell needs, la-di-da-di-da. Here we go. We're going to rename it. So this is the Hawthorne Market Snap for November 2021. And once I have everything ready to go, I can download these images. Now, when you're downloading things, be sure you're paying attention to the file type. If you're downloading something to post on social media, it will have to be either a PNG or a JPEG file. So I can click on PNG. I can adjust the image quality if I like, although I wouldn't bother, just leave it as is. And I can simply click on download. And in just a few moments, we're going to see that file is ready. I don't know why my name didn't, the Sage name didn't switch over, but that's a-okay. But now I have this file that I can upload right to Facebook right here. I can email it to myself and then save it to my phone and then post it on Instagram. There is also a share button here. So if you did want to share this as a post on Instagram, or on Facebook or Twitter, you can do that. We can also share these projects as well. So if you wanted to share your work with other agents, maybe if you're on a team or if you're collaborating with other people, you can do that as well. But that's then how you would download those images and prepare them to be shared on social. I know we covered a lot in this course. Does anyone have any questions? Is there anything you'd like me to go back and revisit? Anything that I may have missed? Well, I will put my email in the chat box for you guys in case you do have any other questions. At some point soon, this is going to be on our Bergen County Partners YouTube channel. If you haven't already come in here and subscribed, I highly recommend doing so. You'll just search for Bergen County Partners and hit that subscribe button. Every class that we teach is uploaded, any specialty classes, the career builders, different things like that. So you have a plethora of videos here, which you can view by the order in which they've been uploaded or by most popular. And Chris has also done a really great job with creating different playlists based on topic. So if you know you want to focus on designs, you can come in and say, I believe there was a design one. Might be under consumer experience. Or maybe you want to learn more about DocuSign. There you go. So we have a lot of great playlists available for you as well. I hope that you guys all found this class to be beneficial. Again, please feel free to email me if you have any other questions. And I hope everyone has a really great Thanksgiving coming up and a great upcoming holiday season. Hopefully I'll see you in a future class. And I just hope everyone gets to spend some time with their family and their loved ones. So good luck, get ready to crush it in 2022, and hopefully see you guys soon.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much.